LDBC, okay? I apologize to the brother that sent this email, like I'm talking about months and months and months ago. He sent the email and, asked me what were my thoughts about, the Asha degree case. Well, if you live in the Carolinas, you definitely know about this case, okay? You know about it. And this case has been televised, like, worldwide. Okay, if you don't know the story, this little girl, Aisha, she left her home in Shelby, North Carolina, in the middle of the night, in a like a terrible lightning and rainstorm. I mean, I'm talking about the weather was probably the worst weather that you can have. So this little girl, she went out in that, was seen walking up along the highway, and then, the little girl was never seen again. Now, maybe a year later, they found the girl book bag. They found contents in her book bag, and I think they even found the shoe. So, I mean, this little girl, been missing. Now, I'm going to just say it. I'm going to tell you straight up, okay? When you find a kid's stuff, or when you find anybody's stuff, and if the body's not near, okay, that's usually indicative of, the person being dead, okay? And I'm being honest, that's indicative of the person probably being dead, because most of the time when a person is abducted, and if they like change locations, I think the stat was like, I read the stat like it's like a 91% chance that they're probably, murdered. That's what I heard. So, I should agree, man, she probably dead. And I hate to say that. It's just, they found this girl book bag. They found the stuff, like just away 20 miles from where she lived at. And when you find somebody's, stuff 20 miles from where they live at, yeah. And see, she was abducted because a 9-year-old, they can't walk that far, bro. Ain't no 9-year-old finna walk 20 miles in the dead of night. She got picked up. She got picked up because a trucker said that he saw her, and he asked her, yelled out to her, like, is she okay? And then she took off and ran into the woods, okay, is what this trucker said. And he didn't see her anymore after that. But somebody saw her, they picked her up, and they drove her 20 miles out of the way. And we know the evidence of that because they found her stuff 20 miles away from where she lived. Yeah, guys, if somebody gets into a car, okay, and legit, okay, if they get into a car and if they've been moved from the original location to the next, they've been murdered. And they still haven't been able to find this girl since. But here's some of the things that I noticed. Okay, in the book bag, there was a book. It was a book, and I forgot what the name of the book was, but the book actually, talked about a boy, like, who ran away from home to go on these, like, this adventure. And so, 9-year-old kids, or kids, period, you don't know why kids just do dumb stuff. Kids do dumb stuff all the time, okay? But they say that this girl could have been groomed. Yeah, maybe. It was kind of tough, though, because in the 2000, the year 2000, little kids wasn't on phones like that. Little kids, the internet, it was usable, but it wasn't like, like it is now. It wasn't no Instagram. It wasn't YouTube. It wasn't all this other stuff, man, that they have now. You didn't have Snapchat. You didn't have all that stuff. So the social media sites were even non-existent. So, and they didn't have computers in our house, so wherever she had gotten on the computer to meet somebody. Because I think back in 2000, they had stuff like, they had, Yahoo Chat. They had that. That was big back then. And then they shut that down because I think that was a huge pedophile ring in Yahoo Chat. And then they had AOL Chat. But see, it's like you had to pay for that. You had to pay for that. You had to pay for AOL Chat. Yahoo Chat was free. But this girl, they didn't have computers in the house, and you couldn't look at it at school. So it's like, where would she even get a chance to do all that? See, that's the question. So, they say she been groomed, or say that somebody at church groomed her and then agreed to pick this girl up later. It just, I don't know, all of that don't really make a whole lot of sense, okay? This girl got up in the middle of the night. And my thoughts are, she was trying to, she read this book, and she wanted to go on an adventure, okay? I don't know, the parents, they seem a little shady to me, though. They seem real shady. And the mom said something to me that kind of, like, caught my attention. She said, hey, they told us not to go anywhere. They told us don't go anywhere, and they went out to look for my kid. And I'm like, whoa, wait, red flag. Now, I don't care who telling me what. I don't care who telling me what, okay? You're not finna tell me that I can't go look for my kid that's missing. You're not, because a parent of a child is gonna be more passionate about it. Now, they went out, they passed out flyers and that kind of stuff. But I found that kind of odd. I found it real odd that they said, hey, you know what? The police told them to stay there, we'll go look at. What? No, no. You ain't finna tell me nothing. I'm going out to look for my kid. So that kind of drew up a red flag. And now they're suing the police. They're suing the police for the kid, being missing. And I'm like, well, how can you sue the police? Like, how can you sue them? It's not their fault that your kid got up and she decided to leave the house in the middle of the night. Sometimes, parents, when kids do stuff on their own accord, parents always look to blame somebody. Like when their kids make these mistakes. And, it's sad. It's a sad story, but this girl made a very deadly mistake, okay? She got up in the middle of the night because she wanted to be like the person in this book. I'm telling you, she wanted to go on an adventure. And in her mind, she thought that she was going to be, seeing all these places that this boy, was seeing in the book and, meeting all these different people. And I even think some point in the book, the boy, had to catch a ride with a stranger. Well, that's what she did. She caught a ride with a stranger. She caught a ride with the wrong stranger. She caught a ride with the wrong stranger because if it was a concerned person, they would have known that, hey, this little kid, she shouldn't be out here like this, Let's go take her home. Shh, look, man, the stranger ain't take this little girl home. This stranger abducted this little girl, okay? And then Lord knows what he did to the kid. Lord knows what he did to the kid. I mean, but it just, everything just kind of points in a direction where, yeah, this girl got abducted and she ain't coming back, okay? She got abducted and she ain't coming back. This kind of stuff, it happened. But see, back then, too, it was probably a little bit more easier to abduct a child because they didn't have the technology. They didn't have a lot of stuff. So the police, they don't really have a lot to go on. I mean, to be completely honest, they've gotten a lot of tips and people calling, but they don't have a lot to go on, these cops. Nothing. You don't have a digital blueprint. You don't have a trail. You don't have anything. I mean, all you have is she played a basketball game a couple days before that. And the girl was upset about the ball game. She was, what is this, Smoothie King? Yeah, go get some Smoothie King, man. That's a Smoothie King hotline number. Y'all, some of you dudes need to drink some Smoothie King. But anyway, there was what was I saying? Oh, yeah. She played a basketball game a couple days before that. And, she was pissed off about the ball game, but, losing. But, I don't know, kids, they lose sports all the time. It don't overly affect them, and I don't know, maybe Aisha degree was different. Maybe this particular loss really affected her, who knows? But to me, it just appears more over that she was, trying to follow this book. That's what it seemed like. Because the book that she read, I gotta remember, I gotta find the book, but I remember going to look at this book, read this book, and I swear, y'all, and I'm not even lying, this book pretty much, it almost verbatim did what this kid was trying to do. It verbatim did what this kid was legit trying to do. This kid was trying to go on a damn adventure, okay? She was trying to go on an adventure. And on the adventure, the little boy met all these crazy different people, that ended up being his friend. Well, this kid thought that whoever she met was going to be her friend, but no, that's not how it worked. That's not how it worked, man. You got some evil, sick-ass people out here. And, somebody legit, they got away with it. Somebody legit got away with kidnapping this girl and killing this girl, okay? Somebody legit got away with it. Now, in some cases where, I'm talking about, really, really less than about 2% of the cases where the person, they don't die, but they're abducted and they're trafficked into prostitution, that happens, but that's really, really rare. It's very, very rare that a person is abducted and then they're prostituted. And I know people, will tell you that, prostitution is something that's serious. It is serious. But for young black girls, it's not a thing that happens a lot, okay? It's more so if you're non-black. Okay, if you're non-black, the majority of the time you're prostituted. But, it's not, and I'm not saying some little black girls aren't prostituted, because some of them are. But for the most part, it's usually not little black girls that they prostitute. Okay, the little black girls end up dead. Okay, that's just the reality of the situation. They end up dead. They end up dead. You know, and it's a sad story. Oh man, it's a sad story. The story is extremely sad because this kid really never got a chance to be who she wanted to be. She never got a chance. She never got a chance to do a lot of things because she made a calculated error. Well, this calculated error cost this kid her life.